Hello and welcome to Hops and Brews. This week, we're taking a look at allergies.
For an open window on a crappy world, Max and Chris from Ups and Brews. Ups and Brews. Welcome to Ups and Brews.
Alright, so before we start the video, we've got Hops and Bros themed shirts. The first time we have merch on the channel, which is really exciting. It's really cool. The shirts look dope. I really like them. I'm a V-neck kind of guy. Chris is more of a t-shirt kind of guy. We got all the different styles for you. So if you click on the link down there, you'll be able to get yourself your own Hops and Bros themed shirts, which I think is really cool. All the proceeds, all the money we're going to be making from those are going to be reinvested in the show. So we want to create more content for you, and we've got a couple ideas, a couple things coming up, but we need to figure out how. So stay tuned. Stay tuned to this channel because there's going to be a lot happening. And before we start the video as well, if you like it, subscribe, share with your friends. Let us know in the comments below which kind of videos you'd like to see in the future. We're trying to be really open, really transparent with you guys. So yeah, that's a thing. So let us know. Anyways, here comes the show.
For an open window.
We never do this. There's no like second intro. Beer allergies. So as most of you know, I work in a tap room, in a beer tap room, and I get a lot of people come in. A lot of people with different dietary needs, but also different people who have sometimes weird allergies. Not weird in the sense that like, oh, that's a weird allergy. More weird allergies like stuff I've never heard before pertaining to beer. Others that are not so kind of uncommon. I mean, there's gluten allergies, there's allergies to, well, not allergies, but just like intolerance to coriander and stuff like that. And those are the big ones, you know? You're walking to the tap room, you're drinking a beer, of course it's gonna have gluten in it. It's kind of the whole point of beer. There are gluten-free beers, but it tastes a little different. But the big one is alcohol. So some people are literally allergic to alcohol. I don't really see those in a tap room. I don't see those people kind of drinking beer because they literally can't. But there's kind of two different tiers to that, where you've got an allergy, complete allergy, where you can't have it because your immune system is actually going to go and kind of attack the alcohol, but at the same time it's going to give you a big allergic reaction, and it can be quite bad. But there's also alcohol intolerance. Alcohol intolerance is similar but a little different. So instead of being your immune system attacking the alcohol, it's your digestive system attacking it. So those people, they can have maybe a little, but it does create some pretty nasty things. So you kind of have to be open-minded and kind of aware of those types of allergies when it comes to beer. Because, I mean, beer is CO2 and it's alcohol, you know? It is an alcohol-based thing. Now, other kind of common allergies is gluten. Gluten's a big one. Gluten is in most grains, especially in wheat. And to that, there's kind of three tiers that I've kind of seen throughout the years. First one is a celiac, complete gluten allergy, where your digestive system attacks gluten and creates some very nasty things in your intestines to a point where it gets you really, really sick and you can't have any gluten, which it kind of sucks because most beers that I've had that were really good were beers with gluten. I've had beers without gluten. I've had gluten-free beers. But those beers, the grains you use to create those beers are not necessarily made to brew, so you can extract sugar from it. You can have a beer-like beverage, but in the end, it kind of changes the whole dynamic of that. I've seen some people do creative things with that, more like cider-like beers where you have a little more fruit additions. I think you could probably do a pretty cool sour with fruit additions and some gluten-free grains and have something pretty cool. I don't know. I'm kind of looking around trying to figure it out because I think there's a lot of people out there who like beer, who enjoy that and who want to consume it, but their body is kind of attacking them for doing so, which kind of sucks. Second one is gluten intolerance. Gluten intolerance is kind of similar to celiac, except there's no permanent damage done to your digestive system. So someone who's gluten intolerant or knows that they can't have too much gluten, they could maybe have one beer and then be fine with it without too many like permanent damage done. But it is uncomfortable. And I've seen some people walk in, they have a gluten, they have a beer, they know they're gluten intolerant, they'll still tough it out. I don't know if that's the right thing to do. I think there's probably other things you could drink that have a little less gluten that might not be as bad for your system. The last one in that kind of gluten intolerance is wheat allergies. So I didn't know about this. I did a little research, and some people are not necessarily allergic to gluten, not necessarily allergic to all grain, but more specifically to wheat. Which in this day and age, you kind of have to be careful. I am a brewer who loves to brew with wheat. I think it's a great grain to use. It adds a lot of body to your beers. There's a lot of great proteins in that grain that can help with head retention, head stability. It does offer a lot of hazy kind of qualities, which seems to be popular these days. And for a lot of classic styles and not so classic styles, wheat is at the core of it. But it's not in every single beer. There's a lot of brewers who don't brew with wheat. So if you have a wheat allergy, you might be able to have some beers, but some breweries are not very upfront with the ingredients that are in their product, to a fault in some cases, especially with wheat, but more specifically, and I'm doing a little tangent here, to lactose. So lactose is used in a lot of different beers, and I've seen a lot of different brewers add lactose to their beers to add body, to add some sweetness to them, because they know that it's an unfermentable sugar, so it can kind of save your ass in a lot of situations. And it's a great... It's not great, it is an ingredient, it's something in your toolbox to use. But you have to be upfront with it, because a lot more people are lactose intolerant than you might think. And some people who have your product with lactose in it for the first time when it wasn't indicated, and they have an allergic reaction or a reaction to it, period, they might not go back to your brewery. And I've talked to a lot of people who they've kind of sworn off a few different breweries because of that. So you kind of have to be careful. And another, like, we use a lot of weird ingredients in North America to brew our beers. Weird in the sense that they're not necessarily usually used. I mean, if you look at the Reinheitsgebot, the purity law in Germany, there's a lot of things you can't use. You can only use 4 really, which is water, malt, hops, and yeast. So anything else is kind of extra. But if you look at classic Belgian styles like wit beers that have coriander in it, not necessarily an allergy, but some people really don't like coriander. And it can affect your experience in this case. So beer allergies, it's something that as a brewer and as a consumer, you always have to be aware. You always have to look around. You always have to be transparent. This industry is a great industry. We want people to have fun. We want people to drink responsibly, but enjoy the products that we put in their hands. And when there's something like that, a reaction, you kind of lose people. That's not good. We got to work forward to creating this product for as many people as possible that want it and not alienate anyone in the process. That's beer allergies. I'm sure I've missed a lot. Those were kind of the big ones that I was thinking about. But let us know in the comments below if you know of any other allergies. I know one of my buddies, every beer he has, or in the last couple of years, I've realized that every time he drinks beer, he coughs uncontrollably. I've got a couple theories on that. I've talked to a couple people, but I'm not exactly sure what it is. Because some beers he'll be fine, other beers he won't. My latest theory is maybe yeast deposit, because it seems that when he has a macro beer, it doesn't quite happen, but in microbreweries he does. Macro beers pasteurize their beers, so there's generally not as much yeast sediment left. They also filter a lot more than most craft brewers, but I've seen him cough on macro beers as well, so is it the grain you use? What is it? You know? So if you know the answer, well, let me know. But if you know of any other beer allergies I didn't touch, I could do another video on this, because I think it's interesting and I think it's important to talk about. So thanks for watching. I said at the beginning of the video, I'll say it again. If you like the video, please like, subscribe, share with your friends. The more we can grow this, the cooler this channel is going to be. And I mean, we're invested. We want to make it as awesome for you guys as possible. We want to create the best content. And being distanced with Chris sucks. It's not easy. We're working on a couple ideas to fix that or to change it in a way where we can have more videos where he's here. But yeah, so see you in the next one.